I'm a fraud. I may not be a fraud, but sometimes I feel like a fraud. And guessing that I'm guessing that if you're anything like me, you might feel this way too. So let me tell you what happened. I teach client retention. I teach how to do proper onboarding, showing appropriate appreciation, and asking for feedback to improve processes. We have been in the middle of updating our systems and moving from one platform to another. And we've had to help a lot of our clients move their stuff over as well. And because of that, we have been doing our implementation of the new platform last. And so it wasn't a big deal because we weren't onboarding new clients and the old system had been working fine for what we needed in that regard. But for the new system, the onboarding system hadn't been put in place. And we onboarded 2 clients about 2 weeks ago, 2.5 weeks ago. And typically by now, they would have already gotten a welcome package in the mail, or a little something in the mail. They would have gotten an email asking for feedback, for check-in of, hey, making sure everything's okay. And we've still been checking in. It's not like I've ghosted them or my team's ghosted them. We're still very actively in the process of making sure we're doing everything correctly and making tweaks, because when you first start working with somebody, there are going to be hiccups. There always will be, because you're learning about how to work with them. You're learning about what they want, what they don't want, especially if you're doing anything in the creative world. And, but I felt like a fraud because I've been scheduling social media posts where I'm talking about, make sure you do proper onboarding, ask for the information you need, make sure you get it put everywhere, do a check in at 7 or 10 days. And I was like, oh my gosh, we haven't done this for our clients. So what I wanted to say is that kind of thing happens when you're in the middle of process, or maybe you started a retention program, you started doing onboarding and something gets in the way. And so I want to tell you, it doesn't have to be the end of the world. You can pick up where you're at and start again and just do one thing. One of the reasons that I was holding back on implementing the new process was because we do a pretty in-depth onboarding process. We gather some information very intentionally so we can roll out an appreciation program over the course of our relationship with somebody. Because typically they don't stay for just a couple of months. Our goal is to have them stay for years. And so I knew that by recreating this process, it was going to take a little bit of work and energy. And so I kept putting it off, thinking I wasn't going to have time. I wasn't going to have time. It was going to be too much. Literally yesterday, in an hour and a half, I got it all done. I was making it out to be bigger than what I thought it was going to be. And so my suggestion is, instead of trying to think you have to do it all at once, is just do the next thing. Build out the first part. Send a thank you. Send a note saying, hey, I just wanted to check in, make sure everything's okay. I've seen some emails going back and forth with you and my team, or if you're the one actually doing all the work, but check in. Do the one thing right away that you can to know that you're showing your clients appropriate appreciation. You're doing the work on time and correctly, and circle back and get caught up on the onboarding process if you haven't done it yet. Because without the proper onboarding, nothing else is going to stick. It just doesn't. Gathering the data that you need to gather to make a lasting relationship happen, it's really important. Gathering the important information, their birthdays, when they started their business, if you're doing B2B, because if it's a business, I'll tell you, one of the best things I do is celebrating that client from when they started their business. And I talked about this on several other videos, that I started my admin company on April 1st of 2019. And the only way that I know for sure that it's my birthday is all my annual renewals start again in April. And actually for us in April, I do a gift where I send a gift out to my clients saying thank you, because without them, I have nothing. And I make sure to celebrate my team as well, because without my team, I most certainly can't do anything. So I titled this about being a fraud. I have another example of how I feel like I've been a fraud lately. And this one's going to hit a little home for some of us, because as small business owners, and I am a small business owner. I am an entrepreneur. I am a founder. I am my ideal client. And they talk about that a lot. Typically, you work with the people that you were a few months, few years in the past. Just notice that I've got like this really weird glare. It's almost like I got makeup on my face or something, because it's moving with me, but it's not. Okay, y'all might get distracted. I'll edit that out. But that's really weird. I don't know where it's coming from. Anywho, back to me being a fraud. So I have taught for years, like literally years, until you are an established business owner, one platform, one message, one offer. One platform, one message, one offer. One platform, one message, one offer. And you know what I've been doing? All over the place. Every dang platform. If there's a platform, I'm probably on it. And so what I have decided is that I'm not going to be a fraud anymore. We do have a lot of social media already scheduled and recurring on Facebook and Instagram and some of these other places. But my goal and my one platform that I really want to be strategic about building out is YouTube. And I will also be focusing on LinkedIn just because you're able to have conversations and then pull people into YouTube. So I'm going to focus on YouTube, LinkedIn as a combo. And because I'm going to be launching a podcast in January called Retention Made Simple, if you're watching this and you want to know about how you could be a guest, I will be taking applications very soon. I'll be reaching out to people on LinkedIn about being a guest. And so it makes sense for that to be my platform. And so here it is, the middle of November, getting ready to go into December, almost 2026. If you haven't already started planning your strategy for 2026, now is the time. Don't wait. I always start planning in November. A lot of people wait till December, and that's fine. But I start in November, and I have for the last few years because I find it really makes me intentional about how I spend my time during the holidays so that I can be with my family, with my friends, and not so focused on figuring things out for 2026. I have a plan in place for what I'm going to be doing for 2026. And I've got a spot right over in front of my desk on this wall that I don't know if I'm going to draw it or color it or print it out or type whatever I'm going to do, but I'm going to make a sign and I'll share it with y'all at some point. I'm going to make a sign that says, only do what's most important today. As business owners, we get pulled in so many different directions. As service providers, we're providing a service. We have to fix the thing. We have to put out the fire. There's a better way. And when you strategize and you come up with a plan on the front end and then you do those things, it really can improve your business, your life, and all the things. And so do what matters most today and see what happens in your business and in your life. And so if you've been following me, which at this point, most of you that are on YouTube probably have found me on another platform, you know me in real life, but I'm not going to be posting stuff on Instagram and Facebook and TikTok and all those places. And literally how this came to be was that I've heard of several people getting some really good traction going live on TikTok. And so I decided I was going to start going live on TikTok. I've got a small following over there. And I did it for a couple of days and I pulled the content down and repurposed it. And I was pretty pleased with it. Then I started realizing, oh my gosh, I'm going to have to really focus on building out TikTok to make this work. And like, I can go live on YouTube just the same. So if you're starting to recognize that maybe you're a fraud in one area or another, you don't have to stay that way. You can make a different choice. For me, I got my retention system built out and it's working and everything's good now. And then only going to focus on YouTube and LinkedIn, right? And I'm going to focus on the things that matter most that will allow me to create the life and the business I love, one choice at a time. And so if we haven't met yet, we're at the end of this thing here right now, but if we haven't met yet, my name's Sam. And I am so happy you're on this journey with me because we can create any life we want. We just have to choose to. And for me, I believe that I am living out my mission now to help small business owners, entrepreneurs, founders keep their clients longer and get more referrals by and it'll help you build a stronger business that will last beyond your wildest dreams and help you make the impact that you were meant to have. And so if you have any questions, I'd love to chat. And if you want to be interviewed on the podcast, maybe you'd be a good fit. Send me a message.